Hello, family. I really feel called to come here and to share with you a lot of really life-changing things which is happening right now. But before we start, I would love to take 3 breaths with you. So it doesn't matter whenever you're joining us, I really would love to just for you to tune in with my energy and connect with me at a deeper level beyond that screen. My heart is pumping so much. It's been bleeding for days. It has been, today it's the 9th day of the war in Ukraine. As I'm telling this to you, my hands start shaking. There is so much I want to share with you, and I feel it's such an important share, maybe the most important I have ever done in my entire life. But to start with, I really want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you for overwhelming support I have been receiving throughout these challenging moments from people all over the world, people who know me personally, people who know personally my family, and people who never met me. It has been so impactful, and I just want to say that every single message, every donation, every share, every heart, makes a difference to me. It impacting my field. I feel supported, so I just want to say thank you so much. Together we have raised over $11,000, and it's incredible. I have never, ever, ever in my entire life managed to raise this type of money. I dreamt about it. So I just want to share that 7,000 of this will go to process the visa for my family. Then I will need the money for the air tickets. It's going to be between 3,000 to 4,000, depending how quickly we can get my brother-in-law, which I'm going to share a little bit later. And then I still hoping to raise more money for my family to arrive and have something for them to actually being able to function on their own without relying on myself, just so that they can exhale, they have some safety and security to rebuild their new life, to get the house, pay for the school, pay for the food, and just being able to sustain themselves at least for a couple of months. So just so you understand, because this figure feels so big. And actually, recently I realized that that's not the only thing I want to raise money, and I want to talk later in the end of this life about what I'm going to raise more money for. But this is not what is this life about. It is not about donation. It is not about raising more money. It's about spreading the awareness about what is happening in Ukraine, what is happening in my family, what is happening to entire humanity all over the world. This is unprecedented times. It has never, ever, 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 ever happened to what is happening right now. The brutality, the deaths, the horror, people all over the world watching and sympathizing and trying to help and support each other. It's been so beautiful. Let me talk a little bit about my family. So my mom, my sister, and my niece are now in Poland. They, after 1.5 days, they are safely in Poland, and yes, they are experiencing safety. They are not hearing bombs and shooting, and they still, every time my sister take the plug out of the wall, all of them goes like that. So they are deeply traumatized, and it absolutely breaks my heart, because I work with traumas and with my own traumas and with traumas of my client, and I just understand the impact of that. And yesterday I called my mom, and she didn't want to have a video call, which was weird, and I asked her, please let me see you, and I just looked at her, and she aged 10, 20 years. She aged so much. I also feel I'm aging day by day, but I can deal with that. But seeing her like that, absolutely broke my heart. And she had tears in her eyes. And I said, Mom, what's wrong? What's going on? Share with me. She didn't want to share. And then she just said a few words which absolutely broke my heart. She said, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. And the truth is, right now she doesn't have home. She doesn't have home. The place where she lived for 75 years, where all her friends, all her life, her job, her reality, as you know, reality right now, it's just a horror movie. So yeah, it's been very emotional and challenging. And right now, the next challenge we're facing is to get a passport for my little niece, because it expired around 1 week ago, just before the war. Actually, it would be 10 days ago. Literally, when the war started, my sister opened her passport and realized it expired. Of course, there are no like consulars in Ukraine right now operating. There is nothing operating apart from just a human will and solidarity. Um, and so I'm now looking to the ways. I'm contacting Ukrainian embassy in Poland, Ukrainian embassy in Jakarta, asking to receive a travel document for her so that she's able to travel on 16th of March, when the Indonesian visas will be ready for them. So this is just a little update about my girls. My brother-in-law, he's still there. He's still there. Yesterday I thought I have found solution to take him out, and last minute he didn't take it. He didn't feel it's right for him to take it, and he's there helping everyone with whatever he can do. He's an incredible pilot, so if there is anyone watching and need an incredible pilot in Ukraine who can fly any type of planes, he's extraordinary, please DM me personally. So he's there, and he will be there until God willing. What breaks my heart the most is the fear that, we might lose him, because so many people losing their lives. I think it's been estimated over 200,000. I don't know if I'm right. That's the figure somehow alive in my head. So what scares me the most is I was brought up without my father. My father died when I was 10. When I was 10 and a half, my little sister was only 5 and a half. And all my life I've been carrying this trauma. It's been so deep and so profound. And what absolutely horrified me, that my niece, there is a chance that she will go through this path. And I pray God that this will never ever happen. But I'm not gonna lie, this is the fears which going through my day every day. Every day before I hear a message from him, I wonder, is he still with us? And it's fucking horrifying. It's just horrifying to live like that. And there are families from this over 40 million, I believe it's 43 million, now maybe coming less and less by every second. Imagine the magnitude of this suffering. If you feeling what you're feeling, just watching the news, imagine what the families have to go through every day, reaching out their loved one. And this is not only Ukrainian family. The Russian people also go through this horror, the Russian moms of the soldiers. They don't know if their kids are still alive. Some of them are just boys. So just want to bring this awareness. And one of the biggest thing I want to talk about today, it's the nuclear threat. I don't know if any of you know, I receive information from several sources approximately 1 hour ago, and that was the main reason why I wanted to jump and share that. Right now, the largest nuclear power station in Europe, not in Ukraine, in Europe, and we have 5 of them. So the largest one is on fire. So I don't know if you guys remember Chernobyl, the event of Chernobyl, which happened when actually my sister was born. My mom was pregnant. So my sister is what? I'm 40, she's 35. So 35 years ago, we went through the horror of Chernobyl, and the difference between Chernobyl and now, that Chernobyl had just one station exploded, and we're all aware of the impact and consequences of the soil on the human life and on the European territory it had, because what is happening when nuclear station is exploded is accidentally or on purpose, which is happening right now, which happens in the very first time in the history of humankind, where it's, I'm looking for the words, where it's on purpose, so it's not an accident, it's a malicious act. So, and when this happened, the radiation is in the air. So with the wind blowing, it pushed this radiation very, very fast. So it spreads out. So imagine what will happen if all 5 nuclear stations will explode. I honestly don't want to imagine. I don't know, but what I do know, that Ukraine will be out of this world, and the whole Europe will need evacuation. So it's extremely, 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 extremely serious, and that is why we can no longer wait. There is this major threat to humanity happening right now in front of our eyes, and Ukraine is just a catalyst for all of us to see what amount of threat and insanity is still available in this modern world we're living together. Let me take a breath, because it's so, so huge. So just to wrap up, Ukraine has 15 units. So from Chernobyl, we know what happened when the only one unit exploded. I leave you with that, what will happen with when the 15th of them will explode. I also been informed last night, I am heavily into that. I spend my night communicating with hundreds of people in Poland, Ukraine, all over the world. I have never watched so much digital information in my entire life. I'm just like literally glued 24/7 to the screen, and I'm on the phone. So what information came through, that the Russian Baltic Fleet been put on the sea, and Estonian government, rightly so, asking people to stock up on food and to join military training. So I just really want you to understand the magnitude. This is just beyond Ukraine. This is our entire population. This is our humanity we're talking about right now. Little news about Ukraine. Kherson is the first city which been overtaken by the Russian. Mariupol been shelling for days. People don't have electricity. People don't have water. People don't have any more food supplies. People actually just, I don't know if there is anyone survive. I have a friend reaching out and asking about friends, and I pray for them, but they've been under severe attack for days. And Kyiv is where I was brought up, and I lived until I was 19 years old. And Kyiv is a very beautiful city. It's a center of Europe. When you go there, like literally 9 days ago, it was like full of beautiful architecture, full of beautiful churches, and now it's crumbled. It's crumbled. It's like it's unbelievable what is happening. People been sitting in the bunkers for days. For days, women were giving birth in the bunkers. I have a cousin who is now in Kirovograd, and with his wife they're sitting in a bunker which is so smelly and cold, because it's basically a basement. So like imagine Ukrainian Soviet Union past times built houses. Imagine the state of their basement. I don't want to imagine. It smell of canalization, it's cold, it's disgusting. This is people's new home. And there are millions, millions and millions sitting underground. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.